All right, welcome back into Cherry Picking. Today's episode, buy low and sell high. Yeah, first of the year. We're going to be looking at two guys to buy low on and two guys to sell high on. First off, Valeri Nichushkin, for you guys who drafted him out there, kudos to you. He's been unbelievable. He's obviously not on this list. Keep him if you have him. He's going to be very hard to trade for at this point. I did not expect him to have this hot of a start, but kudos to whoever does have him on his fantasy team right now. But let's get into it right away. Two guys first to sell high on. The first guy, Chandler Stephenson on the Vegas Golden Knights. He's a center and right wing in Yahoo leagues. I think right now Chandler Stephenson is the most fraudulent fantasy hockey player there is. He's really overperforming, but I don't think he'll be able to sustain it. He has 3 goals and 4 assists in 8 games so far this year, with almost a shooting percentage at 19. We've just never seen Chandler Stephenson with a shooting percentage this high. He's hovered around 12 to 13 with his career high being around 16. His share of possible ice time is high, but his role is just not an offensive role. His role is out there. He's great at winning faceoffs 100%, but other than that, he's just getting the puck to Mark Stone on that line that he's on. He has the 13th most shot attempts on his team right now. 13th. So there's guys like Zach Whitecloud, William Karlsson, Phil Kessel, Braden McNabb have all more shot attempts than him right now. His on-ice Corsi percentage amongst the team is 52. So he's just really not that involved in the offensive game plan for Vegas right now. His volume isn't there to keep up this kind of point production, in my opinion, either. There's just too many mouths to feed. You have guys like Eichel and Marchessault, definitely guys you want to have on your fantasy hockey team. Jonathan Marchessault off to a really hot start too. And even their line is very defensive. Brett Howden, Chandler Stephenson, and Mark Stone. They have the lowest expected goals percentage amongst the 4 forward lines right now. And so right now, really, if you're looking at someone to trade for, if you're looking for a center, centers like Braden Point and Jack Hughes have had pretty slow starts and could be trade targets. You might have to package depending on who you're trading with or what league you're in. But Stephenson right now is the 48th ranked fantasy hockey player according to Yahoo standard scoring. He was the 55th or 60th, depending on where you're looking, ranked center heading into the season. So there's just no way he keeps this up. If you have him, get rid of him this week. All right, the next guy to sell high on, Alex Tuch on the Buffalo Sabres. One of the hottest teams to start the season this year, and Tuch being one of the reasons for it. Right winger on this team right now. He has 6 goals in 6 games, so phenomenal start. Don't get me wrong, but I'm trading him as soon as I can. His shooting volume is solid, but his shooting percentage is 35 right now. That is way too high, something that is very not sustainable at all. To put this into perspective, last year Austin Matthews' shooting percentage was around 17, and that's near the top of the league. So right now the shooting percentage means Alex Tuch is scoring on 35% of the shots that he's taking, which is just ridiculous. Perfect example of this. They played the Calgary Flames about a week ago. He had 3 goals on 3 shots, one of those being an empty netter. I think this Buffalo team as well is just a little bit overrated right now. Yeah, they have 4 wins in about 6 games, but their goalies have been playing really well, and their offense has been scoring, but not on a lot of shots. They have the 7th worst expected goals percentage in the NHL right now. It's at 44.54, which is not very good. You want really a team that has an expected goals percentage of above 50. In Yahoo standard scoring, he's the 28th ranked fantasy hockey player. Just look at the guys with the same amount of points of him right now, Johnny Gaudreau and Jonathan Marchessault. Both of these guys have 25-plus shots on goal. Tuch only has 17. He's far too efficient. I know that might sound weird, but it's just not very sustainable in my opinion, and you should trade him right now while he's really hot. All right, so a couple guys to buy low on right now, early on in the season, and these are 2 guys that have went drafted pretty high in drafts. The first guy being Kyle Connor, left winger on the Winnipeg Jets. He's had a really tough start to the season. One of the guys I was really high on coming into this year. I thought this was going to be his breakout year, and he has 3 points in 6 games. So obviously you can't write him off just yet. Definitely a guy you should be looking to trade for. He has the highest expected goals on the team right now. Only has 1 goal, and it was actually an empty netter. His shooting percentage is at an all-time low. It's at 5%. He's generally been around 16 to 15% for the last 4 or 5 years of his career. So we should see the goals start to pour in very soon. In Yahoo leagues, he's currently the 275th ranked fantasy hockey player. He's tied with guys like Joel Kiviranta, Kasperi Kapanen, Carter Verhaeghe, all guys he should be way ahead of. He was a top 30 fantasy hockey player coming into this season, and he should be. He's second on his team in shot attempts, only behind Pierre-Luc Dubois right now, but he has the most shots on goal, which is great to see. One good thing that he is doing that you can kind of bank on right now, he's creating scoring opportunities for his teammates, and it's not just by passing. He has the second highest expected rebounds created off his shots at around 2. So that's a very good number. So I wouldn't really panic on Kyle Connor right now. He will come around, and if you need a winger, definitely look to trade for him right now. All right, last guy for this video, Timo Meier. He's a left wing and right wing duality right now in Yahoo leagues. Plays on the San Jose Sharks. This guy, he's the ultimate buy low right now, in my opinion. He has yet to score a goal. He has 2 assists, 2 points in 9 games. The Sharks have played a little bit more games than the rest of the teams just because they played over in Prague against the Predators before the actual regular season started, but they counted toward the regular season stats. The one crazy thing, he leads the NHL in shots on goal. He has 42 shots on goal, but doesn't have a single goal to speak for it yet. This kind of speaks to how shit the Sharks are maybe, but I think it's also saying just how unlucky he's been. He has the highest expected goals rate per 60 on his team at 1.38. And not only does he have the most shots on goal on his team and in the NHL, he has the most shot attempts. He has 85 shot attempts, which is wild. This guy just fires the puck at the net. And he has the highest on-ice Corsi percentage on his team as well. So obviously the offense runs through him. They haven't been able to get the puck in the back of the net just yet, but it will start to come soon. And the scoring is going to come from him. It's similar to what I said about Kyle Connor too. He has an expected rebounds created of 3.4, which is higher than Kyle Connor's right now, and he has less goals than him. He's playing with guys like Hurdle and Barabanov. He can definitely get some cheap assists off these guys as well, whether it be off a rebound or just passing. This line is very good. They just haven't been able to get the puck in the back of the net. They have the highest expected goals for per 60 amongst the forward lines so far this season. So it will start to come. He's the 190th ranked fantasy hockey player right now. He was top 50 as well, kind of like Kyle Connor coming in this season. Maybe not as high, but he's definitely a top candidate you should be trying to trade for. I would even try and trade Tuch for him, honestly. Like the glamorous of 6 goals through 6 games could be misleading to some of the guys in your league. So definitely a target to look for and a guy you could be looking to trade for. So that's 2 guys to sell high on, 2 guys to buy low on. Feel free to ask any questions in the comments or even in the Discord if you want help to who to trade these guys for. Obviously tough for me if I don't know your guys' teams, but let me know. I'm glad to help. Keep your eye out for the next fantasy hockey and betting advice video from Cherry Pickin. We'll see you guys then.